Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm feeling a little intimidated after all those wonderful speakers from SDA and FST. I am given the honor of introducing our guest, Dr. Roger Clements, and this is not going to be an easy task. I have to write so many things. There are so many. So exactly, I don't know where to start, but I would like to begin by saying that this is a name familiar to me since 20 years. Even while I was doing my graduate studies long time ago in India, through reading through various food science and related magazines, and Dr. Clements has achievements at highest level both in industry and academia, and I'm just going to give you some of those. So currently, Dr. Clements is the Chief Scientific Officer of E.T. Horn Company, where he is in charge of their ingredient and nutraceutical division. And Dr. Clements serves as a regulatory faculty and an adjunct professor of pharmacology and pharmaceutical sciences at USC. And he is also the immediate past president of Institute of Food Technologists, as many of you know, one of the largest professional organizations in the world. And Dr. Clements, he was the scientific advisor for Nestle for more than 21 years. And Dr. Clements is the fellow of Institute of Food Technologists, American College of Nutrition, Marlin Magram Center for Food Science, Nutrition and Dietetics. He is an active member of American Nutrition Society. He is appointed member of US Pharmacopoeia expert on food ingredients. He served on the USDA Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee with preliminary responsibility in food safety, dietary lipids, and health. He is a member of the expert panel on FDA, International Food Information Council, and California Dairy Council. These are all in the sort of industry side. Coming to academia, he was the director of analytical research at USC for 5 years, member of the American Institute of Nutrition and Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. He's a commissioner on dietetic registration for the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. He's a food science expert on the RD and DTR examination panel. Mind you, nutrition science students. And as you could imagine by now, he is the recipient of many prestigious awards, which I'm not going to list here today. Education, Dr. Clements has a BA in bacteriology, a Master of Public Health in Nutrition, and Doctor of Public Health in Public Health Nutrition and Biological Chemistry, all from UCLA. He has published more than 50 original manuscripts, more than 200 invited national and international presentations. Aren't we lucky to have him this morning exclusively for us? Right? If you think that he's a stranger to CSU system, he is not. He served as the department head of food science and nutrition at Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo. He serves on the advisory and development council for CSU Long Beach, Cal Poly Pomona, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. And couple of other connections. Our own Dr. Tam and Dr. Clements, they were lab mates during the graduate science program. And finally, probably a connection that is close to his heart. His wife is a graduate of Cal State LA. Having done my first part, I would like to introduce our students to you, Dr. Clements. They are a great group, smart, hardworking, dedicated students, and as faculty, we are very proud of them. Aww. And I would like to welcome our college dean, Dr. Yorker, and all of the faculty members. And now I invite Dr. Clemens for the presentation.
It's been 50 years since I was on this campus. 50 years. I met my wife on this campus. Let your heart go. And my wife and I have been married 42 years. Not bad for an old guy, for a young guy, rather. And as we work up on the wireless, that's working somehow, right? MJ's going to figure this out. Can you hear me in the background? Yeah. If you can't hear me, raise your hand. Yeah, see, well, you can't respond because you get the idea. Okay. Merci. How many of you had breakfast today? Look at the hands. Look at this. Think about what you just did. Over 1 billion people did not have breakfast today. 1 billion people did not enjoy what we enjoyed. Don't take this for granted. We are on a collision course when it comes to food, nutrition, and health. We're on a challenge we're looking at from farm to fork. We're on a challenge from crop to consumer. We have to be very careful as we look at emotion, trying to feed the many, and try to enact policy versus look at the evidence. My challenge to you, my charge to you is look at the evidence before you determine the policy, as well as examine potential unintended consequences. What could go wrong? What audiences or group of people may be omitted based on the policy for which you may be discussing and actually enacting? That hit home? I just returned from a whirlwind tour of South America, and I had the opportunity to then spend time in Brazil and in Iguazu Falls, and then I flipped down to Mendoza, Argentina. Yes, there's a lot of wine and meat in Argentina. But more importantly, I worked with a physician in Abel Beños, who's the Dean of the Medical College down in Mendoza, Argentina. He heads up, he's a pediatrician by training and in practice for over 40 years. He has, in practice, looked at, oversees 75 mini clinics to meet the nutritional needs of children under the age of 5. To meet the physical needs and the development needs of women, primarily, who are not cultured and not necessarily treated well. So we're looking at women who are your age, and not much older, who've had 5 children already. They don't have any skills, they can't read or write, and they're going to have children. That's a reality. I had the opportunity to work with Dr. Beños, and now I probably would spend more time in Argentina. I just need to learn Espanol. And you can help me, I'm sure, Maria. I was so pleased you saw my friend from Tate & Lyle, Luis Fernandez. He comes from Argentina. And he now is an executive, of course, at Tate & Lyle, based in Chicago. I trust I will see many of you in Chicago next July. But let's go on to what I have to say for today. Well, these are certainly hot issues. By the way, you can have a PDF of this file. Dr. M will give it to you at the end, so don't take a lot of notes. Most graduate students are taking notes, and undergraduate students are just dismayed. Well, clearly, these areas on the left-hand side of this graphic are hot topics. The ones on the right-hand side are equally hot. And it's incumbent upon you to really understand the evidence. I'll be at the ADA meeting, now known the Academy meeting, in a few days, discussing some of this information. See on the right-hand side of the graphic. Food safety is paramount in this country and around the world. And what is food safety? Well, that could be a long time discussion, probably beyond today. What's natural? We don't know. You're right, we don't know. Well, anything's not synthetic. Well, let me think about this. Well, you know, you hear the phrase, when I'm grading papers at 2 and 3 in the morning, I'm a professor at USC, grading papers at 2 and 3 in the morning, I say, see these infomercials? Have you seen infomercials? It's always fascinating when many of them get on there on the health thing. And well, it's natural, therefore it's safe. What was that a mistake? I teach toxicology at USC. I can show you some very natural things that will kill you. Snake venom is one of them. So we have to be very careful. And organic, of course, is just a process that's nothing to do with actually the quality. And GM labelling, a hot topic for Prop 37 here in California. And perhaps we should have a whole day on that. But if you go down to Chapman University on the 19th of October, you'll hear both sides of the proverbial avenue. Let's look at what we have to say today. Well, my friends, let's talk about the world without food science. What do you think would be your reaction if we didn't have food science today?
Terrible, I think.
Pardon?
I think we a lot of the issues that we are dealing with, especially in the United States, is because of the food science. We are introducing the population of little children with all these junk food that is being processed, and we are converting, something that used to be original, healthy, nutritious, to something that is you can keep it for a long time, but at the same time, we are just it's harmful to the body. So,
I see.
I'm a nutrition major, and I really, and I